Years passed peacefully in Obidike, and young Prince Obinna grew into a bright and curious child. At only 5 years old, he was already deeply loved by the people of the kingdom. Everywhere he went, songs of praise followed him. One evening, King Adigwe sat with Obinna in the royal courtyard beneath the setting sun. The king spoke to his son about courage, wisdom, leadership, and responsibility. Though Obinna was still very young, the king already dreamed of the day his son would become a powerful ruler, even greater than himself. Obinna listened carefully and asked innocent questions that made his father smile with pride. One afternoon, Obinna played with children close to his age outside the palace walls. During their games, one of the boys accidentally pushed him against a stone, leaving a painful cut on his arm. The other children expected the prince to cry, but Obinna stood silently, holding back his tears despite the pain. When King Adigwe arrived and saw the injury, he examined his son quietly before placing a hand on his shoulder. The king told Obinna that a future king must learn to endure pain without fear. He explained that the people would always look to their king for strength, and therefore, the heir to the throne must never allow weakness to control him. From that day onward, Obinna began to understand the heavy responsibilities of royalty. That night, Queen Amara sat outside the palace beneath the moonlight, while Obinna rested comfortably on her lap. She told him ancient moonlight stories about brave warriors, wise kings, and powerful spirits that protected the land of Dike. The young prince listened with excitement and often interrupted with curious questions, asking if the stories were real and whether he too would become a great king someday. The queen smiled warmly as she stroked his hair, but behind her smile still lived the pain of the child taken away years ago. Sometimes, while looking at Obinna, she wondered what his twin brother looked like and whether fate would ever bring them together again. As Obinna grew older, the people of Obidike loved him even more. Whenever he appeared beside the king and queen, villagers sang praises and showered him with blessings. The elders often spoke proudly of his intelligence and discipline, while the palace guards admired his bravery and confidence. To the kingdom, Obinna became a symbol of hope and the promise of a bright future. King Adigwe watched proudly as his son slowly earned the respect of the people. By the age of 18, Prince Obinna was no longer the playful child he once was. His days became filled with intense training and lessons about leadership. The elders taught him the laws and traditions of Obidike. Warriors trained him in sword fighting, horse riding, and battle strategy. Wise men taught him how to settle disputes and rule with wisdom. Obinna also traveled through different villages across the kingdom to understand the struggles of the people he would one day rule. As he grew into a strong and disciplined young man, the people believed more than ever that he was destined to become one of the greatest kings in the history of Obidike. But unknown to them all, somewhere far beyond the kingdom's borders, another young man with the same royal blood was also growing into manhood, and destiny was slowly preparing both brothers for the day their paths would cross.